Hey guys, it's Terrie. So nice to see you. How's your heart today? I'm curious, how's your heart today? How are you feeling? Well, the dog is coming to say hello. He's like, I love you, mommy. So he's gonna join me. This is him. Oh, he just gave me some tongue. That's fun. So what I wanted to talk to you a little bit about today was why self-care is so important. I'm just gonna remove these for a bit. Self-care, why is it so important, and what is the frequency that we are able to tune into and tap into when we are caring for ourselves? Not everyone, but many of us have done something somehow in our life. It's part of the human experience, so there's no judgment here. I've done plenty myself, where we've abandoned ourself, right? Where we've done something that we didn't want to do because either we wanted to please someone else or we just didn't want to be left out. We just wanted to feel part of the party. Human nature, part of the human blueprint. But in that process, what we did was we gave ourselves no credit, as if how we were feeling in that very moment didn't count, it didn't matter, nothing like that. Now, some of us have just done it sporadically through our life. Some of us have a tendency to do it over and over and over again, and it's part of our programming. It's part of our patterning, right? It's our operating system. So how do we break that cycle? How do we become online, become aware of when we are abandoning ourselves and how we can actually give ourselves the care and love that we need in that very moment? Well, the first thing we got to do is just become aware of in that moment, something is just not feeling right. Yes? So in that very moment where we're feeling what I could consider, what I would maybe describe as a discrepancy, right? In terms of what we feel we want to do versus what we think we should do. So it's the feel versus the think. Yes? So that causes that imbalance, that discrepancy, right? So we have to kind of be aware of it. It takes some mindfulness, definitely. It takes practice. It's definitely not something that we could do right away or that just comes to us just so naturally, because oftentimes we're actually taught to behave this way. I know, right? So anyways, in that moment, we're having some sort of a desire or need that has to be met for us personally that we're just so willing to give away to someone else, a situation, anything like that. So in that very moment, we're giving away ourselves and we're not caring for ourselves, right? So if we do this too much, too often, we're going to start to find that in our life, we're starting to attract certain situations, circumstances, people, and we get into this energetic vibration or this consistency of being taken advantage of, not standing up for ourselves, or just anything where we're proving that we're not worthy, we are unlovable, we don't count, we don't matter, we're not being seen, we're not being heard, etc., 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 yeah? So the term self-care really means caring for the self. So if you're unable to do it in the actual moment when you're being triggered to do it, which is completely and totally understandable, I mean, it is a practiced art form to be so mindful and aware that in this very moment, I am having a need that is not being met, right? But we can kind of do that work. No, not kind of. We can do that work where we can take care of ourselves and actually show ourselves that value, show ourselves our worth, even if we're not in the scenario or situation when we're being triggered. Actually, it's a lot easier to train ourselves to take care of ourselves, to like ourselves, to understand the worth and value of ourselves when we're actually not in the situation, just to start off as awareness, right? Like total beginning. So the way we can do things like that are making promises to ourselves that we actually keep. I know. So that means not making excuses, right? Oh, Terrie, why are you telling me these things? It hurts. Ugh. I know. But it's something I got to do too. I mean, there's nothing that I tell you guys that I don't do myself. So that's the thing, is like, what can you do for yourself that you actually keep your word? So what is it? Maybe you can just think about what you can be doing for yourself that you'll make a commitment to. A lot of people are commitment phobia or commitment phobe. They have commitment fears, even to themselves. And that's a challenge. That's a problem. Most of the time, what's happening is that there is a disconnection between yourself, you and yourself, and you and the divine, a higher power, right? So really, one of the first things that you could do is really learn, how can I connect myself or to myself, which is the act of self-care, caring for yourself. So what are some of the things that you can do? First and foremost, you keep your promises to yourself. So if you say to yourself, I'm going to wake up, I'm creating a new morning routine, and I'm going to wake up at 7 a.m. every morning, you got to keep that promise to yourself. Yes, I know. But here's the thing. If you're not ready to do it, then don't do it. No one really cares. Oh, I know that's painful to hear. And I'm sorry to be that truth speaker, but we oftentimes think other people care more about us than they actually do. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. No one gives a shit about what you're doing or how you do it. Everybody's worried about themselves. Everybody is worried about themselves and what they need to do and how they can keep the words to themselves, their words to themselves. So, you know, there's no judgment either way, anyway, all the way. The only thing is that there's judgment for you. You do your own judgment. Yes, yes? I know. So self-care is keeping promises to yourself. So what is something you can do today where you can keep a promise to yourself? And then do it again, and do it again, and do it again. There are different ways. Boundary setting, right? Keeping to a consistent routine, watering your body, exercising your body, feeding your body, reaching out to people even if you're afraid, or taking time for yourself if you give too much of yourself, recalibrating your energy. I mean, there are just so many things in so many ways, but the bottom line and the lowest common denominator in all of this, in all of self-care, is keeping the commitment to yourself, not breaking your word. If you say you're going to do something for yourself, you do it. And again, it's a practice thing. So please, please, please try not to be so hard on yourself. Don't be like me. I beat myself up. But that's something that I'm practicing as self-care, is I'm really practicing being mindful of when I'm being hard on myself, right? And that's a commitment that I want to keep to myself. I would never speak to somebody else the way I speak to myself. And I have to consistently remind myself that, right? So that is why self-care is so important. It has nothing to do with anyone else. It has everything to do with us and keeping our promises to ourselves. So it can be anything and everything, but it's a promise to ourselves. That's what self-care is. Yes? Yes, yes. What am I always saying to you guys? Stay connected. Stay connected to your friends and family. Stay connected to yourself. And of course, you can stay connected to me. You can check me out at TerrieHuberman.com. Maybe you need some longer term support, right? In learning how to care for yourself. I'll tell you this much. When you learn how to care for yourself, you shift your energy into different timelines. You time travel into different storylines, and you create a new future for yourself. One that you didn't think you had. You could be thriving in freedom, joy, and security, or even really understanding connection and feeling whole and abundant, right? And you can do that with self-care. If you need some help, I would love to help you out. I have a program called Shift Happens. Yes, yes. It's longer term support than just a one-time reading. And in between sessions, you have my ear and you have my attention. So there's energy breath work and energy healing. There's coaching and psychic reading. So it's longer term than just a one-time reading. If that sounds good to you, check out my site, TerrieHuberman.com. Click on the Shift Happens section because I want to help you change and create a new life for yourself. It is doable. It is possible with support, and I want to be there to help you through it. If that sounds good to you, schedule a complimentary consultation with me where I can answer your questions and see if we're a good fit. Because this may not be good for everyone. So let's see if we can work together. Yes, yes. And also, just so you know, through the end of the summer, I am working on a sliding scale monthly payment plan to help us out with all of this financial impact that COVID has given us, unfortunately. Yes, yes. So please feel free to reach out to me and see how I can help you. And what am I always saying to you? Stay connected. Stay connected with self-care, right? Keep promises to yourself. Stay connected to your family and friends. And of course, stay connected to me. And I'll see ya on the flip side.